Founded in 1729, Arlington Street continues today as a gathering place for progressive people of faith in the greater Boston area and beyond. We are located at the corner of Arlington and Boylston Streets, across from the Public Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.
That heart box of watercolors, the children's unpremeditated art. We need them to hold on to in these rocky times, don't we? I had planned the title and readings for this morning's service well before encountering the Olympics opening ceremony, which Kel brought to my attention just this morning. And I won't do it justice, so if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to look it up online. But it's a gorgeous celebration of Italian art and culture centered around offering the primary colors of red, blue, and yellow, and then opening up the full spectrum of color with dancers wearing costumes representing the different time periods and types of culture, from Roman centurions to espresso makers, to chefs and iconic buildings. It's a spectacular artistic display that offers a poignant reminder that not just Italian culture, but all of human life offers color and sound and shape and celebration that is so much bigger than what we might be living through in a given moment. By stark contrast, just 2 weeks ago, I was checking the news and social media on a Saturday, looking for updates from friends and colleagues I knew had gone to Minnesota to answer the call to witness and protect against the atrocities our government was committing there. Renee Nicole Good had been killed just 3 weeks before, and so steeling my spirit for what I would encounter, I opened the apps. And I know you all know now that none of our spirits really could have been steeled enough for what I saw. One of the first posts I saw linked to what I thought would be a news video, but was actually smartphone footage of Alex Pretty's murder. It was just a few seconds long, and immediately another video followed. It was another angle on the same event. And before I took in fully what was happening and found that pause button, I had watched a man be killed from 3 different angles. And I knew I wasn't the only one. Though the videos were in color, their content made the world itself seem lifeless. The news hasn't gotten better, has it? We have children being abducted and torn from their parents, have for quite some time. And we're now getting this dramatic and endless confirmation of a vile cabal of wealthy men who preyed on girls while supporting each other's business and political interests, and learning of more and more criminal activity by our elected leaders, and preparing our personal taxes while getting news of vanishingly low tax rates for billionaires. The storm clouds of our times can take over the sky sometimes, washing us in a very drab gray. So every day, we're faced with the questions of how much to expose ourselves to these horrors. Some of us have taken an approach of a full ban on news. Others catalog each story, wanting to stay informed. Still others are torn daily between the desire to be informed and the need to preserve some thread of mental health. This moment is a lot to manage. As we gather in worship and meditation and poetry and writing groups during the week, we in this community source each other with our presence, and we share the words and reflections and stories that help sustain us. Often we remind one another of the wisdom we have touched before and just lost track of, or we need to greet in a new way. Last week in our Poems to Go On group, to which anyone and everyone is welcome, by the way, Pele Lo shared a favorite poem of mine that I've shared with you in worship before and had let go of out of my awareness. And on that Monday afternoon, it was a balm and a kind of prayer. It's from Boston area poet Tracy K. Smith, and it's called, and more important than being from the Boston area, she's a former US poet laureate. No big deal. Her poem's called An Old Story. We were made to understand it would be terrible. Every small want, every niggling urge, every hate swollen to a kind of epic wind. Livid the land and ravaged like a rageful dream. The worst in us having taken over and broken the rest utterly down. A long age passed, when at last we knew how little would survive us, how little we had mended or built that was not now lost. Something large and old awoke. And then our singing brought on a different manner of weather. Then animals long believed gone crept down from trees. We took new stock of one another. We wept to be reminded of such color. All week, the words of that poem have been dancing in my head alongside those of Al Young in the poem that was our opening words. Mostly, we occupy ocular zones, clinging to what we think we can see. We can't see wind or waves of thought, electrical fields or atoms dancing, only what they do or make us believe. Look on all life as color, vibratile movement, heart-centered, from invisibility to the merely visible. It sounds fairly abstract, very highfalutin, but the poem, as Al Young tells it, was inspired by running into an acquaintance of his named Jean Cook, who was looking unusually glum. So he asked her what was up, and she explained that her mother had died months before, and she was having a really hard time with it. So he offered his condolences, and she explained that she was having a hard time not just with her mother's absence, but with the fact that they had never gotten along well in this life. Two griefs, layered with regret. So Al Young wrote the poem in response to their conversation, to offer a balm for her grief. Being a poet, he says, you get to live on many planes of existence at once. What we can see and know right now is only one realm. But what about the rest? He writes, never mind what happens when one of us dies. Where were you before you even get born? Where am I and all the unseeable souls we love at this moment? Where are we right now? Young was musing at the fact that we often treat right now as if it is the only reality, and we worry a lot about what happens after we die. But we don't consider what happened before we got born, how that connects us to what is now, and how it will connect us to everything that comes after, which is still the before of yet others being born. Our perception, in other words, is always limited by what we can or will let in. As the storm clouds surround us at this time in history, casting us into a monochrome realm, a grayscale existence, and not in the sexy film noir way, but in the deprived of all life way, we're at the risk of losing the thread of who and what we were meant to be. We know this isn't the first time in history when people have feared for their lives simply by being born in a particular place with a particular skin color or accent or religion or sexual orientation or gender identity or ethnicity. Not the first time the worst of human cruelty appeared at every turn. Al Young reminds us, everything that ever happened either never did or always will, with variations. Nothing ever happened that wasn't dreamed, that wasn't sketched from the start with artful surprises. For what much, maybe all of human existence, the rainbow has had some spiritual connotations. In ancient Greek, Roman, and Norse mythologies, rainbows were the connections between gods and mortals. The Greek goddess Iris, whose name translates to rainbow, is the source of the name of that part of our eye that takes in what we see, is the messenger between the mortal and the immortal worlds. The rainbow is a reminder of the connection between now and eternity, between all beings in this realm, and between the past, present, and future. As we see in its use in the pride flag, it's a reminder of the unity of all life and the importance of seeing and honoring all the different variations of light that exist. Light that appears to us as color. Most importantly, in order to take in the rainbow, especially in stormy times, with the wind howling at our windows and frigid air, and in some cases, hard hearts and policies pushing us indoors, away from one another, we have to find ways to look up, to look ahead to the horizon, and be willing to let the full spectrum of life and of light change our awareness. How might we be part of those who sketch some artful surprises? Maybe we let ourselves get playful by imagining that our world has been created in such a way as, in the poet's words, to sidestep tedium by leaving room both inside and outside this picture for subjects and scenery to wing it. The more stark the picture looks like that we're living in, the more important our creative capacity. Each time we move past our fear to name and notice someone who is not like us as part of us, we add another dimension to the landscape. Each time we make caring for someone who is not our direct kin our priority, we add depth and vibrancy to a dying scene. You may be aware that this evening there will be some football played before and after a Bad Bunny concert. Bad Bunny is an artist who's taking this work of dreaming, of sketching artful surprises, and most importantly, not letting the monochrome story stand unquestioned. A cisgendered Puerto Rican man and pop superstar, he has made it clear that he will not bow to the pressure to perform in English, to perform traditional masculinity, or to lift up straightness as an ideal. All of which are serious transgressions, especially today, especially at the high holy day for so many Americans. Bad Bunny has promised to bring the rainbow, fearlessly, joyously, and defiantly this evening. Can we do the same? My friends, with whatever power we have, within whatever talents we have, with whatever realm we operate, let us find ways to open the horizon, to look up and past the storm, and to let in the whole array of possibilities the rainbow offers. Let us let all the frequencies of life and light visit us as power and connect us to each other, past, present, and future, and remember that nothing ever happened that wasn't dreamed. And then dream until the rainbow dominates our landscape and we are one. So may it be. Amen. To put your palms out and send loving kindness out in widening circles to your neighbors on the left and the right, and in widening circles around the globe, embracing all in the blessing of loving kindness. And then as you feel those same waves coming right back to you, bring your hands to heart center to carry the love that is the spirit of this congregation with you all week long. May love hold us all until we meet again. The service begins when the service ends. Amen.
And we will care for each other as the world around us unravels, and we will tend to the spark of hope that lives within our beating hearts. And we are here now in this present moment, lifting our voices and hearts. And we are here now, we have come together, we are tending the spark of hope. Oh, may it grow. And we will care for each other as the world around us unravels, and we will tend to the spark of hope that lives within our beating hearts. And we are here now in this present moment, lifting our voices and hearts. And we are here now, we have come together, we are tending a spark of hope. Oh, may it grow. Of hope. Oh, may it grow. And we will care for each other.
We are located at the corner of Arlington and Boylston Streets, across from the Public Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.